And we are back. Good to see you guys again. I know it's been a while. I did do the Sunday show with Sheets last week and Rhodey, but been gone pretty much most of the summer. Ready to get back after it to attack the rest of the baseball season, all of the football season, and then we'll have basketball coming up in not too long. We've got some great package options. Hope you guys will check us out. Obviously, people have been on fire even without me. Kind of hurts my feelings. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to give a major shout out to Brandon Cruz, who's just been red, smoking hot. Been absolutely awesome. I hope you guys have been paying attention to Cruz. He's doing the showdown stuff a lot for us too, and as well as obviously his normal NASCAR. But he has just been crushing everything. So shout out to Cruz. Couldn't be happier for him. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, and love to see it. So wanted to start off with that. I did want to also say a shout out to a good friend of mine, a very good friend from poker, who's starting a beverage company today. So if you're in the Michigan area, you're going to see these pretty much all over the place starting today. And they're going to be all over other things. So it's called Battle Juice. It's going to be another pretty cool thing that's going to be a contrast to a much healthier version of Gatorade and whatnot, and obviously and much better tasting as well. So shout out to Battle Juice. This is their launch date, so good on them. And we're going to talk some baseball. We'll get into that. Good to see my buddy Scott's in the chat. Good to see Scott in there. Scott McCarty, as you guys know. I'm going to share my screen. I'm a little rusty, so bear with me. I'm going to say that over and over again just so people don't forget. And we are probably going to be going live at this time Monday through Friday for baseball for the most part. I'll try to get in a baseball show every day. We'll do football, obviously, the showdowns as well as the main slates. But just getting home, just getting back into it, and going to go from there. And I'll go through my build today. And I'm sharing the wrong screen. That's not the right screen. That's my. Let's stop that share. All right, let's do this. Excuse me. Why is it giving me? Let's go window. And I clicked the wrong one. No wonder. All right, so I just rebuilt. Obviously, I didn't have the lineups out. I did post my early exposures. I'm guaranteed they're going to change. I'm not messing with everything too much. One thing I like to do, just personally, especially if I don't have a major take and I'm just sort of getting back into the flow. One thing I always do for the pitching, for the projections, I like to go with Goldie's most updated projections, or at least close to it, to at least differentiate myself from other SaberSim users. Obviously, Goldie's projections are going to be a little bit different than SaberSim's. Now, I don't want to do it across the board because you're going to end up with players who are not in the lineup, because that's what happens. You can end up with guys who get scratched. Goldie's amazing at keeping up with it as much as possible, but it's never going to be perfect for that. So what I like to do is go through and just manually sort of change the pitchers to a number that either I feel is more correct or that Goldie has. Sheets when his projections up, I use his often for this. And then the ownership, I also like to do for theirs, but it's a little bit tricky until we get to around 6:30, 6:45 Eastern time. And even then, I think I'm going to rely for today on Goldie for pitching. Then we're going to stick with the SaberSim ownership and everything. And then as far as stacks go, I did put a minimum exposure of a few teams. Didn't change anything that drastically. You can see Cincinnati, the A's, and Dodgers which none of those are going to be particularly off the board. But I did want to get some extra exposure. Just make sure I had some exposure there. I'm not playing a ton of lineups. Kane Hine, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Let's go. Let's get after it. And I'll go through what I'm going to do on this slate. I want to rebuild one more time and just refresh, because I know we don't have every lineup in. Last time I checked, we're still missing, the Dodgers, Giants, Angels, Padres, and Rockies. Padres obviously being a big one. I think they're going to be pretty popular. Let's just talk real quick about some stacks. If you look at the highest projected ownership, it's actually a little more spread out than I thought it was going to be. You get Houston as the number one team. San Diego, I think, will be number two. And I think Cincinnati and the A's will probably fall in there. I'm a little surprised not to see more Cincinnati names on here, and not really. Let's just see. We don't. Let me just see real quick. Oops. Cincinnati ownership. It doesn't seem outrageously high outside of the fact that Ellie De La Cruz is. Didn't I have him as? Where did I have him? Maybe you know what? I must have messed up something up here. No, we have Ellie as. I think that Cincinnati will be a little more popular. Oh, Friedel, yeah. I think Cincinnati's going to be a little more popular maybe than SaberSim is guessing right here. But those are sort of the main ones. I do like Cincinnati for what it's worth. I also have some interest in the A's on the other side of that. And as I mentioned, the Dodgers, those will probably be my hand-built teams. Dodgers, obviously, in San Francisco, huge park downgrade. But look, it's blowing out. We know San Francisco, it minimizes the wind. But what did Roth say earlier? Shout out to Roth. I believe he said it's a 12% bump to home runs in this situation. But a 12% bump in San Francisco just makes you still a below average ballpark. So not necessarily incredible. All right, I'm going to rebuild. I just want to make sure I've got my pitchers. I did set some. Like I mentioned, I changed the pitching to these numbers that Goldie had, or at least a little closer to it. Goldie had 23. Yeah, we'll go 23.6 for Scooble. And the one I'm a little shaky and don't know if I really want all of is it's a lot of Luis Castillo love, and I get it, but I also feel like there's other routes to go. I also think that there's a path here to maybe consider a little bit more Alcantara, and I actually think I'm going to put a minimum setting on him, get a little bit of gamble in there, and with that we'll rebuild and sort of see where we're at. Let me know what you guys have been up to. Anybody else with any big wins recently? No, as I talked about it when I started, Cruz has been on fire. We love to see it. Nobody more deserving, and nobody who honestly, who I would rather have it other than our team and our site members, but Cruz being one of the key members for our team, and just thrilled with what he's been able to do lately. Sheets also had a huge huge showdown win week 1 of the NFL, so it's kind of my turn, right? No, I'm just kidding. I just got back, so I can't ask for too much. But this is what I'm playing today. I am going to hand build my 2 333s, and like I said, probably going to be focusing on the Dodgers, Cincinnati, and the A's to some extent. Those are the teams that I sort of have targeted that are a little bit more off the board here tonight. So let's see what we come up with and see if we like it, and then we'll go from there. But look, we're giving sort of a free look at all this stuff from SaberSim and all that, and I know that we're not going to have as many people in the chat as we usually do because we didn't plan these out, and it's been sort of all over the map for the summer. But now we're back in real sports betting time. We got football, we got baseball. We're going to have every night covered for you. So hopefully you guys will come and take a look at some of the packages we've got out there and join us. So any questions or thought, feel free to drop them in the Discord. This is probably going to be a fairly quick show. We'll probably get some lineups in. I'm just going to double check that no other lineups have come in since I've been here. Let's see. Mariners just came in, Brewers. So yeah, we have those already. All right, so this is what we're looking at as of right now. Scooble, Castillo, Ginn. Wow, really loving the JT Ginn play here. I don't know that I want to do that personally. So I'm actually going to cap this exposure at 20. It doesn't feel right to me. We've also got Sears. I guess it's against Colorado. I'm okay with eating a little bit of that. And I do actually kind of like Alcantara tonight as a little bit of a contrarian. Contrarian, whatever. It's just he's lower owned than I feel like. I'm not going to say even he should be, but then I think he should be. I also think you could make a good argument for Yamamoto here, who's not getting a ton of love on the higher end. So maybe I'll bump him up an extra 1/10 of a point. We'll go Sears. Goldie did not have as of last projections. And I still think that JT Ginn is very, very thin, to say the least. So we're going to rebuild one more time and then run the Sims and see where we get after that. All right. K9 said he took a little mini. He said he likes a little mini Milwaukee stack. Palante is terrible. My biggest problem was before I left, like this year, and even going back, I get Palante. I never can seem to get the Palante wrong. I agree that Palante is terrible. I don't mind that Brewers take at all. I could certainly get behind it. I just have, for whatever reason, I've run bad with the Palante stuff. So we'll have to see what I end up doing. But as of right now, I am not getting to as many Brewers. Maybe that's going to change in just a minute with a few of the little tweaks we got. Good to see Rhodey in here. Good to see you, man. Sheets is out, obviously, for the next couple of days, but I'll still be live Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time for football. And we'll get things sort of back on the track, back rolling. As I mentioned, guys, bear with me because I am a little rusty and just trying to get back to doing stuff. I really didn't play like DFS like at all. Had the World Series of Poker. I had family trips. I had personal friends that I was visiting all over the country and some out of the country, which was really fun. So yeah, it's been a lot of stuff going on over the last period, but not very much DFS related for me. I did get some season long bets in on the NFL. I was really happy. I was there before the Micah Parsons trade, and I was very into Green Bay this year, so I got a better number on them than I think most people did. Mostly my bets were, I still think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to be Ravens, Rams, or somewhere along those lines. But I do really like this Packers team, and obviously they've given us no reason to do anything but love them. All right, what's happening here? Something happened here with what is going on with my SaberSim? So this is again, what Why is it doing that? Okay, let's do that. And then let's get this straightened out. I guess that's why it wasn't working. All right, let's rebuild and see what's going on here. What else has been going on? I'm trying to think. I actually watched more of the Eurobasket. I watched a lot more of the US Open tennis than I thought I was going to. We've got the not fun for DFS, but fun for if you actually like golf. We've got the Ryder Cup coming up pretty soon. So pretty good time for sports. And I think it's a really interesting NFL season. So I'm really, really pumped. I always say that I wait a few weeks to really start getting heavily invested. And I still feel like that's going to be the case, but I'm pumped up already for Sunday. Just early builds and whatnot has made it just way more fun. I so much more enjoy football and golf DFS than I do some of the other ones. So I'm pretty pumped up about that. All right, let's see what we've got. Just running everything. And I think we're going to have it all run with the simulations and everything in just a second. There we go. Make sure we do have the. All right, come on. Let's see. What else have we got to talk about? Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to talk to you guys much about the World Series of Poker. It was fun. I played a number of events. At the World Series, I think I only played 6 or 7, but I think I played 11 events while I was in Vegas. I cashed in 3 of them, pretty deep in some. Just missed. I was probably a couple hundred off the money in the main event of the World Series. Kind of went like in a good way berserk. I was actually I felt like I was playing really well. Couldn't win an all in. I think I was 1 for 9 in my all in flips, and some of those I was huge favorites, and some of those I was small underdogs. I didn't really have any. Just couldn't seem to win them, and it just wasn't my year. But really did enjoy playing. Felt like I was a little bit off at the start, and then by the end of it, I felt like I was sort of back to my old self. And a lot of the old things in poker I feel like work, and people all are playing so directly one way. I think it makes it kind of fun, actually, and I think there's actually a little bit more edge than people lead you to believe. That's just my take. It will not give me less of JT Ginn. Just not going to happen. All right, maybe I roll with it and just decide, you know what? I'll roll with a little JT Ginn, and I just won't be in my high buy-ins. Maybe that's the way I play this out tonight. That seems to be what's happening. Why can't I get this straightened out? All right. Either way, this is not too bad. Let's see what we got for stacks. Cincinnati, San Diego, pretty chalky-ish. Again, it's 12 games, so nobody's going to be like overwhelming chalk. San Diego, I do expect to be the highest owned team. I think Cincinnati will be probably number 3 behind San Diego. So I don't love that I'm so highly exposed to the most popular spots, but I do like the spots. So a little bit tricky. And then you have the Milwaukee down here. I think you know what? I think I'm going to go after Palante again. I'm going to take my man K9's advice, or not advice. Take what he's going to do, and I'll do some of it myself. I still feel like this Sears projection is a little too high. I also feel like this Ginn thing. I think Ginn versus Alcantara. I just feel like I'd rather take the Alcantara route, and they're close enough in price. Let's just do this, see if we can rebuild and get to something we like a little bit better. And this is a lot of what goes on these days, with all the simulations, all the tournament simulations as well. You kind of want to just go through until it's something that you're into. Let's see what we've got. If again, I could just let it cook and roll with it that way. That's fine. And I think you could do that and be profitable just with the SaberSim product alone. I certainly think once you incorporate cheats and Goldie's projections as well, you have an edge over the field because you're differentiating yourself from all the other SaberSim users, but you're still using the same builder. I really like that idea in general, but I also do want to put my own little tweaks on the sports that I know. I probably shouldn't put as many as I did today, considering how rusty I've been. Whatever. Yeah. The K9's, I just stole what K9's doing. Looks like they pushed a new version and refresh. Yeah, I think you're right, Scott. You've been doing this for me also. Some issues with the portfolio manager. So yeah, well, you know what? I'll address that. I'll get on the phone with Goldie. I think that it might be. I just got a message from Goldie. I'm going to catch up with him at some point, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it before Sunday. But it's possible that we will. So if we do, we will go through that then. All right, let's finalize these lineups and just make sure real quick while this is happening that there's no new MLB lineups in. Where did they go here? Oh, no, they didn't. Yeah, no new builds. Sorry, no new lineups out. All right, let's run the sim. And then we are going to see where we're at. Also, guys, if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up and all that stuff. We're still doing some videos for free. We're going to do a lot more behind the paywall stuff, but this is while we're doing them for free, please give us a like and all that stuff. And then again, drop in any thoughts you have, any questions, anything like that. Like I mentioned, it's not going to be too long of a show, but I'll give you guys exactly where I'm at. And like I said, for my hand builds, although I'm leaning a little bit more this Milwaukee way at the moment, I do think for my hand builds, I'm going to still stick. I do like the Cincinnati Dodgers, and I also have some interest in the, obviously, A's, as I mentioned earlier, along with Milwaukee, which I was talked into. So I'm going to blame K9. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't blame K9. All right, so let's see. We've got Scoobles here. I mean, Castillo. I don't really love the Castillo thing. We did get less of the Ginn. That feels better. I like Alcantara. In my higher buy-ins, I'm more likely to use Alcantara than I am Ginn. And DeGrom, this all feel pretty reasonable to me. I'm not, again, I think the Castillo thing could go one of two ways. In fact, I'm surprised that I didn't get to some Angel stacks against him, because that's usually what we get a lot of from SaberSim, the most jockiest pitcher. You're going to get some of the other side. And we didn't really get as much of that today. Okay, so I ended up with a lot of Arizona, who is not a team I had in my hand building conversations. But look, it's something to consider. Let's look at as far as 5-man stacks go, Cincinnati, Arizona. I don't love the Arizona stacks. I don't mind, because these are cheap buy-ins. For my high buy-ins, I am not going to have Arizona stacked. We did get up to 21% Milwaukee, and sort of spread out outside of Cincinnati. But I think the projection, I do think the projected ownership is too low on Cincinnati. If you want to change it to Goldies, I think that's reasonable, because I think Cincinnati is going to be higher owned than they're currently being projected for. But either way, we're going to save this for right now and sort of go from there. All right. See if I can still remember how to do this. Just kidding. I did it Sunday for football. So, and then I'm going to go through and hand edit. Let's just make sure it doesn't have multiples of the same. No, we're there. And yeah, obviously still waiting on lineup. So that's going to change some things potentially, but that's where I'm at for right now. You guys know our whole belief here is to be transparent about what we're doing. And I hope everybody's paying attention with Sheets and with Brandon, because that was certainly cool. All right. How do I feel about it? See there, Scott. I was just talking about the Arizona thing. I don't love it as much as I'm getting it. I'm happy to leave it in the smaller buy-ins. It's not going to be happening for me in the bigger buy-ins, the 333, the 121, 250, that stuff, which is the majority of my buy-ins, in all fairness. So I'm not going to get to them there. I'm going to keep those to now 4 teams: Cincinnati, the A's, Dodgers, and the Dodgers are more probably likely to be a 3-man stack for me than the 5. And then Milwaukee. I think I can find ways to mix those stacks in my 6 or 7 high buy and large small field stuff. All right, we've got a little update. Does that mean we have a new lineup? We do. And let's see who's out. It's the A's lineup. Kurtz. All right, so A's lineup looking pretty much like I thought it would. I don't see anything different. I think you can make a case for playing more of these A's, to be honest with you. I like Brady. You guys know we've made money with Singer. We've lost money with Singer. I'm not saying to play him today or anything. I will bump his projection up a little before we do anything else. But I think that if we're going to take shots, I think he's one of the guys who you could consider gambling with. But that's sort of how I feel about this whole pitching slate in general, outside of Skubal. I love Skubal. Everybody else, I'm okay with fading Bybee. I do think I had his projection a little too low, so I'm probably not going to end up with some of them. I'll stick with what Goldie's got here. Wait, hold on. Let me just double check which is which. Yeah, okay, that is that. You got him at. No, that's not true. Goldie's got him at 14.3. Maybe I will just stick with this 15 number, 15.1. That's fine. Sears. Then you've got Alcantara. It's pretty spread out outside of the top 2. And I personally think I'm going to end up with less of the Castillo. I don't think I'm going to play Castillo in my high buy-ins as of right now. I might change my mind, but as of right now, I'm okay with leaving him in the lottery stuff. But I don't really want to play him particularly that badly in the high buy-ins. So, Anyway, guys, it's not that many people in here. I just wanted to sort of dust the cobwebs off, get this going, saying we will be doing at least one baseball show a day. It's usually going to be at 5:30 Eastern time on the weekdays. On the weekends, Saturdays, we're not going to have one. Sundays, we'll have the football stuff. We will have football first looks and all that starting again next week. I just got back, so I haven't gotten to all that yet. And yeah, I'm pretty pumped up and ready to get after it. So I hope everybody has a great slate. I'll be in the Discord. I'll post my exact exposures at the end. And good luck to everybody. Check out the packages for TrueDFS. I think we're a great option if you want to. Look, we've got everything SaberSim has. We're only literally costs barely anything more. Got everything SaberSim's got. Got all Sheets' projections, although he's out for these few days. Goldie's projections, all of my content, Rody's, Brandon Cruz, the lightning rod that's Brandon Cruz. He's just completely on fire. And we hope you guys will take a look and join us. Thank you, K9. Good luck to you as well. Good luck to our guys. And I appreciate all you guys really just for sticking with us. And hopefully